Good morning, everyone. How are you? Hey, this is Lori Mueller with StampinDreams.com coming to you on Monday morning, March 8th. And it is a beautiful morning. It's going to start getting really warm this week. I'm saying 70s, which is really nice and warm compared to the sub-zero temps that we were having a couple weeks ago. So I am going to soak it all in, even though I'm going to be working indoors most of the time, but hey, at least the sun is shining and my heart is warm. So good morning. I'm so happy to have you joining me. I have got a beautiful product suite of stamps and dies and papers that I cannot wait to share with you. So I know I have a number of butterfly lovers. If you love butterflies, this suite is for you. You are not going to want to pass it up. I just love it. It's so versatile and so efficient in a couple different ways of using the products. So I know that you're going to enjoy both creating with it and helping you create nice, pretty, gorgeous, wow type cards, 3D projects, scrapbook pages. This is not just for one type of crafting. It can go so many different ways. And so on top of that, I am bringing in, can you guess? My favorite beautiful Brushstrokes dies. I'm not bringing in the whole bundle this time. I'm just bringing in the dies. But I think you're going to love what I have done to connect these two products together. You know, I've been having so much fun with the brushed blooms that you know, it has stamps and dies, but I just can't let go of my paint brushes yet. So I'm bringing it in with the butterflies. So good morning, everyone. Oh, how's Montana? Let me know how the temps are hopefully creeping up the scope of getting warm and warmer, and I think spring is in the air, but then there's supposed to be a forecast of possible snow this coming Sunday. Wash my mouth out, right? So I'm hoping no snow, but we'll see. It'll probably change by the time we get there. But anyway, I am looking forward to sharing this suite with you. So let's get started. All right, so we have this beautiful product. Let me get and it's the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set. There's coordinating dies. You get 2 sets of dies. There are actually 12 in here. One is an entire whole die that coordinates with the stamp set. And yes, the stamp is all one, right? I haven't put it together because I'm not stamping with it actually today. But to stamp, you can ink all these butterflies up, and then you can die cut them all out at one time. How cool is that? All right, so then, and that's how intricate they look. Same as what's on the cover there. But also too, you're going to have individuals. So you can ink up your image and then die cut particular ones. But I think for my purpose, I have a really hard time cutting stamps apart. I know a number of my friends, you know, if there was a stamp with a sentiment, they would just cut the sentiment off, so it made it easier for them to craft and stamp exactly what they wanted without having to do any masking. So with this, I would find it really tempting to cut this apart as well. But then you have to, you know, maneuver your whole die to fit the cut pieces, right? So how I'm going to fix that, this stamp set is $17 all by itself. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy just another set of stamps, the butterfly, and I'm actually going to cut them apart. And then I have these intricate pieces that I can use on top of it, or I don't know. I need a second set so that I don't feel bad cutting one apart and keeping one whole. But these dies are really nice and intricate, and they coordinate with the butterflies that are in here, each one of them. So you have one of each. This one is over on this sheet right there that matches up with that one. And then you have multiple patterns. You know, you have your brick wall, you've got, you know, another type of pattern that can be related to a wall of some sort, some little hole pieces, and then two smaller butterflies that are not of the same size, but you have your extra large all the way to your extra small. So you can craft to your heart's content and have your card almost filled with butterflies that would end up fluttering away. But this product suite is available in my online store until May 3rd, because this is a prelim to a product that is coming out in our new annual catalog. So we get a sneak peek, including you. All right, and so you can get the bundle, the stamp set and the dies as a bundle to save 10%. It's $54.75, and then it has two different papers. And then also too, you can get the whole suite, all of this in one suite for $71.25. So you can just put in one item number and get everything in the suite and not have to worry about putting in 1, 2, 3 item numbers. Now the designer series paper is filled with colorful butterflies as well, and some little paint splotches, butterflies that have variegated colors that flutter through. Then we have like a sky view with, if you're laying on the ground and you have all these butterflies up in the air and you've taken a photo. So these are like, that's the way I'm looking at this. This is a bunch of clouds in the air and all these butterflies are flying over top my head. Then we have these butterflies that can be used as like background paper or strips of paper that help enhance your card. Or if you like, you could actually fussy cut these little butterflies out as well and add to the brilliance of the larger ones. And then we have another pattern of butterflies, which again, you can hand cut these out and use them on your creations. Then we have on the flip side, more abstract pieces, you know, smaller patterns. This was kind of the same color as the Bermuda Bay on the front. We've got some like watercolored, some more butterflies. Again, you can use as a whole, or you can hand cut them out. And then another clouded watercolor, variegated colors. So lots and lots of fun colors. Now, the one exciting thing about this die and this particular piece of designer series paper is that this die will cut out in one path through your Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine all of those butterflies. Ooh, isn't that cool? I love, love, love. So here are the extras of the butterflies that I didn't use on my card today, and those come from that one sheet of paper. So when I got done, I have this void, and then you'll see where this extra piece is missing. But that's what your designer series paper will look like after you have die cut it out. How fun is that? So this is where the efficient part comes out. You don't have to have a separate die for each one to cut out. It's all in one and placed specifically to fit that particular die. Super exciting. All right, so I'm going to set my stamp set aside because, like I said, I'm not using it for today. And we will go ahead and show you my little creation. So I told you I'm bringing in my painted, the Brushstrokes die, and this is my card that I came up with. Isn't that pretty? So my background is the basic white thick card base with some basic white layered on there that was embossed with the painted textured 3D embossing folder. All right, so brought the painted background, my painted little Brushstrokes dies, and I made myself a little lattice of sorts. And then I die cut some of those butterflies. You're going to see this one in here, that one there. And then never underestimate something that's been cut off. I cut this, gave it a great big swoop and ran it through my die. Again, I just set it up in placement. All right, and I die cut that out. And then I tucked it underneath the lattice as if it's in between, you know, kind of hanging on there. So that's how that comes about. Now this top layer that is a little accent is our pearlescent paper. It is a very, oh, it's beautiful pearl colors. And it doesn't matter if it's front or back, it's got the same sheen on both sides, so you wouldn't be messing up if you had it backwards per se. But that's what I overlaid over top of these butterflies. I just put my adhesive down the center and then kind of winged these up a little bit. And then I added the smaller butterflies using the scraps of what was seen on the back side. So I brought in some solid, well, not really solid, but they've got a little bit of color to them, but no patterns on them, to kind of add to the filling of my card. Now the sentiment comes from a set that's out of the annual catalog. It's the Itty Bitty Greetings. So this whole design can be set up for any occasion. It can be congratulations, birthday, happy Mother's Day. Anything that is in this two stamp set gathering here can be used for this particular layout. And this Itty Bitty Greetings has everything that you would need. Even the world's best father for Father's Day, birthday, Easter, sympathy, you're engaged, Mother's Day, happy Hanukkah. You know, there's so many different sentiments in here that can be used for this particular layout. I love that. All right, so what do you think? Isn't that gorgeous? All right, well, let's get started on making one together. So what I first need are the supplies. I have my basic white thick cardstock that measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I have a piece of scrap soft sea foam cardstock that I'm going to use to die cut my brush strokes. And then I have a piece of basic white that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And that's going to be my embossed layer that I'm going to use. All right, so let's go ahead and burnish the card base. Use my bone folder so I don't have to use my nails or anything like that. All right, so I have that. Next I want to do let's do the embossing and die cutting. All right, so we'll set that aside and bring in our cut and emboss machine. We'll go ahead and emboss first, and the only thing I need for embossing is my platform number 1, and then I need my textured plate, which is number 4, and that's what I will put on top of here. So I need my basic white cardstock, put it inside the embossing folder. I'm going to lay that directly onto my platform 1 and put the texture plate over top and run it through. Just like that. And I love, love, love this textured pattern. Now here you can get, a look, 2 different looks. Here's the one side, and then here's the other side. So it's just a little bit subtle difference, but you can, in real life, you can really see the difference, I think. But I'm going to use this particular side. All right, so I'm done with my folder. Next, I'm going to bring in my plate 2 and a cutting plate so that I can do some die cutting. I'll go ahead and do my brush strokes on the soft seafoam cardstock and run that through. I've got to add a little bit of a slant so that it goes through the die cutting machine nice and smooth. Run that through. And like that. And then I'm just gonna, this is how I kind of, oh, I don't want that one to fall down in there. All right. And they just kind of start up. Well, give it a little start. There we go. All right, so I have all those 5. Now, to create my lattice, I really need 6 of them. So I've already die cut an extra one from a previous pass. So I have all of those 6. So I'll set that aside. Next up is the butterflies. All right, so this sheet is a 6x6. So I want to make certain I have it nice and straight on my platform here. Now I'm going to line up my single die right here. And the one thing I really paid attention to are the antennas to make certain I'm not, cutting them off. So I used those as my guide for placing this die piece over top. And I think all right, I think I got it. Oh, need a little. All right, just to be sure that it doesn't shift on me, I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape. And I'll just put it right there in the center. All right, now I feel comfortable. Because sometimes my plate has so much static, it actually lifts my die up off the platform, and then I have to start all over again. So run that through. And look at, okay, so I'll move that piece. And then I have all of these beautiful butterflies. Can you see that? Isn't that gorgeous? Pretty, pretty, pretty. And then all I have left is just my little voided piece here. So I'm going to remove the ones that I'm not going to use. But I need to, remember how I said I'm going to use this piece? So I'm going to trim it off here and run it through the die again. And I'm going to have to, let's use my washi tape again. And I have to position it for this particular one, because this is the only set of solid dies for the butterflies. So you have to use this as a whole. And run this through. And I only need to go a part of the way. Okay, and then we have our, see, isn't that pretty? So never underestimate anything that's been cut off on the edge of the pages. So, all right, put that aside. And then next, I want to bring in these two small ones. And I'm going to use the back side of these pieces. So I'm going to cut off that piece, and then I'm going to cut off this one. And we're going to die cut some pretty butterflies this way. Okay, and I think I'll move it up here because I'll just go in and out again. All right, like that. Oops. Okay, looking pretty. All right, so I put these aside. And next, I want to die cut my pearlescent paper. So I'm going to cut some intricate dies. So I'm going to need two. This one, I believe, is the one that, yep, overlays on that one. So I need two of that particular size. And then I need, for this butterfly, I need that one. Yep. All right, so I'll put, die cut that, and I got this. And then I'm going to need one more of the small one. But this pearlescent paper is so pretty. It just adds that little extra sheen, or any sheen actually, with your project. Look how pretty that is. Love, love, love. All right, so let's get these off of here. And it is pretty delicate. Ooh, look it. Isn't that pretty? It is just beautiful. Just perfect for a little butterfly. Right? Oh, love, love, love. All right, now I'm going to shave off all my clippings there. And I'm going to run it through one more time with this small one. So let me know, how many butterfly lovers do I have with me today? I know of several friends who just love, they've made it very clear to me that they are in love with butterflies. I remember a craft show, or it was a vendor event, craft fair type of thing, and I was going along this long stretch of road, and there were fields on either side of me, and oh my gosh, the butterflies were so thick that I felt so guilty that they were hitting my vehicle. It's like, oh, it was just breaking my heart. So I thought, well, if I go slower, which that didn't seem to matter, they were still just fluttering so thick as thieves in that area. So it just broke my heart. But they were gorgeous just to see so many of them in a small area. All right, so now what I'm going to do is add just a little bit of liquid glue to the center spine, and I'm going to overlay it on my butterfly. Now this one, don't be deceived by the cut off piece, because we're going to tuck him under that section of lattice that we're going to create, like that. And then add this one to the top, so it overlays perfectly over that black area of the printed butterfly. But that's where we're at right there, so we'll set them aside. And now we're going to create our lattice. Let's go ahead and attach the painted embossed layer to the front of our card base. I'm just centering it so that I have even spacing on either side. There we go. Next up is to create my lattice, and I have I used this one, and then I have alright, so this one goes underneath, and you have to do a little weaving in and out, and let's see, yep, like that. And one more pass right there. Perfect. And I'm purposely not keeping them all squared on either side. I want to have that, you know, non-squared look, I guess. And I want to make certain, though, that I am going to stay within the boundaries of my card front like that. And I really struggled whether I should keep it straight, you know, like everything else around it, or give it a little kitty wampus, which I ended up doing the kitty wampus. So, all right, I think we're gonna, when I shift them, the others kind of move too. But we're gonna fix that by, I just kept it all in one piece, like that, and added my adhesive to the back side. I did not worry about, you know, putting these in place with adhesive. I used this method. It just seemed to go really easy, and then I didn't have to worry about shifting anything. All right, now flip that around and place it on here. I might go put that one in a little. And then you just plant them down just like that. Now, if you feel that you're missing, yeah, I knew I had some adhesive there. You can just always lift up a little bit, because I wanted a little bit of bowing, so that it looked, I don't know, just give it some character. All right, now it's time to add in our little butterflies. So as I said, this one is going to get tucked in under there. Now let's see. I may have, there we go. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive here. And I'm going to lift this up and tuck it in like that. These are going to be popped up with dimensionals, and I'm using the minis because I only want it down the spine. I don't want to have the big ones or regular sized dimensionals. All right, put this about right there. Put this one towards the top. And then we're going to bring in this one right here. We'll add a small one again. We'll put it right there. Now our sentiment is going to include this particular one. Now I meant to do the pink, but that's okay. We're going to have a little bit of a blue in there. All right, next is to bring on our sentiment, and I'm doing sending prayers because I have a lot of friends who have been asking for prayer warriors, so I'm going to do that, and using need to clean my image. I was using it for a different color earlier, so I don't want to muddy up my ink. All right, we'll ink that up really good, and I've just got a scrap of basic white that I'm going to stamp onto. And I'm using Memento because it was here. You can use the Stays On if you have that as well. And I'm going to use the classic label punch to punch it out. And centering, give it a little bit of, oops. Oh my gosh, I hear my cardinal outside. I have this family of cardinals that are so cute. All right, now I'm going to, now granted you're not going to be able to see the end, but I decided to, at one time, give it the same end punch. And that's all I did, was I just tucked it in there, so then I have that on the other side, on the opposite side as well. And I'm bringing in more mini dimensionals. And we're going to set this into place. I'm going to use my little tweezers, help me guide. And like I said, you can use any sentiment that works for you. And I'm going to put a mini on the back side of this little guy or girl and place it at the end. Then to add some bling, now I thought about rhinestones, but then that would kind of conflict with the pearl essence, so I'm bringing out my pearls. Get my, oh, and then that one wants to come off with it. Oh, I got two of them. Come on. There we go. Put that one back. And you go for one, you get them all. And then I used one of the bigger ones the medium. They come in 3 different sizes. Oh, and we'll use that for this one. And there we have it. This is our card. And then to add a little bit of flair, you just kind of pick up the pearlescent paper layer and give it a little flair. So what do you think? Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, with the painted background, and then you've got the brush stroke, lattice, and you know, the pearlescent overlay of the printed butterfly layers. It's just yum, yum, yum. Just beautiful. I love, love, love. And you can, you know, mix and match all your different colors, but the fun thing is that you can, you know, get your main focus of your butterflies die cut in one pass, and then use, you know, to accent, bring in some additional color, because, you know, your eyes like odds. So I went with 5, and then don't forget, you know, to die cut any pieces that are off to the side, because you never know how they can fit into your creation. So if you are wanting to get your hands on this butterfly bundle, the butterfly bouquet, this is the information that will be on my blog at stampanddreams.com, and then you can purchase it in my store. And if you want it all, I forgot to bring my naturals paper with me, but that is a real pretty paper as well. But you can get it all with one swoop of a keystroke for $71.25. It's gorgeous. Oh, you got to get your hands on it. All right, so let's say our, see my outdoors. It's gorgeous out, isn't it? Nice and sunny. So that's my creation for today. I have a few tips there for you, but there's so many other ideas, yeah, my mind is just going crazy with dreaming up all these different ideas and wanting to get them all created at once. So I hope I have inspired you to get into your craft space and stamp today, whether it's scrapbook pages, cards, 3D projects, you name it. I love sharing my passion for paper crafting with you, and I hope I have inspired you today. So spread the love and share my video if you would be so kind to. And until then, I will see you next week. Have a great day, and God bless. Love you. Bye.